Imagine standing at the edge of a great opportunity, a dream you've held onto for years, only to feel the cold grip of fear wrapping around you. The fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of what others might think. How many times have you let that fear stop you from taking the first step? We've all been there. Fear is a natural part of life. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to hold you back? What if I told you that within that fear lies the key to your success? Today, I want to talk to you about something that holds so many of us captive, our fear of failure. And more importantly, I want to show you how to overcome it, how to transform those doubts and insecurities into fuel for your growth. Because the truth is, the fear of failure is not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Failure is not the end of the road, it's merely a detour on the journey to success. So I ask you, what if the very thing you fear is the thing that will lead you to greatness? Let's dive into that and discover how we can turn fear into our greatest ally. Fear is an inherent part of the human experience, a primal emotion that we all feel at some point in our lives. It can arise from a variety of sources, often linked to the unknown, the unfamiliar, or the potential of failing at something important. We fear what we do not fully understand, and in doing so, we often restrict ourselves from moving forward. The fear of failure, in particular, can be a powerful force that holds us back from chasing our dreams or realizing our full potential. It can manifest as self-doubt, anxiety, and a constant sense of unease that prevents us from making decisions, taking risks, or pursuing opportunities that might lead to success. At its core, fear is a response to perceived danger or threat, an evolutionary mechanism that has kept us safe since the earliest days of humanity. This mechanism works by triggering a fight or flight response, an instinctive reaction that pushes us to either confront the fear or avoid it. While this reaction was vital for survival in the past, in today's world, where the dangers are often less immediate and more abstract, it can become an obstacle. The fear of failure, though rooted in survival instincts, no longer serves a protective purpose, but instead limits our growth and potential. Understanding the fear of failure is the first step toward overcoming it. It is essential to realize that fear, in and of itself, is not the problem. It is how we respond to it that matters. Fear does not define us, nor does it dictate our outcomes. It is a temporary emotion, one that passes once we acknowledge it and move through it. The key is not to allow it to take control of our actions. When we acknowledge fear, we can make more informed choices about how we react to it. Instead of avoiding the fear, we must learn to embrace it, to sit with it, and to understand why it exists in the first place. The fear of failure is often tied to a fear of judgment, of not measuring up to the standards set by society, by others, or even by ourselves. It can create a barrier between where we are and where we want to be. But this fear is usually based on false beliefs, assumptions, or past experiences that may no longer apply to the present moment. The truth is that failure is not the end, but rather a part of the journey towards success. We are often our harshest critics, imagining the worst-case scenario without considering the lessons and growth that come from the experiences themselves. Once we begin to see fear for what it is, we can challenge its hold on us. Instead of allowing it to paralyze us, we can ask ourselves what we are truly afraid of and what the worst-case scenario actually entails. More often than not, the fear of failure is disproportionate to the consequences. The worst-case scenario is rarely as catastrophic as we imagine, and even if it is, it can be overcome. By recognizing the irrationality of our fears, we open the door to taking more risks, stepping out of our comfort zones, and exploring new possibilities. Fear also thrives in uncertainty. We fear what we cannot control, and failure often feels like the ultimate form of uncertainty. However, uncertainty is a part of life, and learning to navigate it is a skill that can be developed over time. Accepting that we cannot control every outcome, and that failure is a natural and necessary part of life, allows us to approach challenges with more openness and courage. The fear of failure diminishes when we realize that success is not guaranteed, but the process of trying and learning along the way is valuable in itself. In overcoming the fear of failure, we must also recognize that our worth is not defined by our successes or failures. Our self-worth comes from who we are, not from what we achieve or the mistakes we make along the way. Once we understand this, we can stop using failure as a measure of our value. Instead, we begin to see it as a learning experience, an opportunity to refine our skills, gain new insights, and approach our next challenge with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When we no longer see failure as something to avoid at all costs, we are free to take risks, to push ourselves, and to embrace opportunities that may have once seemed too daunting. The fear of failure, while natural, does not have to control us. By understanding it, reframing it, and choosing to act despite it, we can move forward on our journey towards success. Through this process, we find that the greatest success lies not in never failing, but in the courage to rise again after each fall, to continue despite the fear, and to trust that every step, even the missteps, is part of the journey. Failure, often viewed with apprehension and avoidance, should not be seen as a permanent roadblock, but as a vital part of the path towards success. When we experience failure, it is easy to fall into a mindset of defeat, believing that we are incapable or that our dreams are beyond reach. However, this perception of failure as a finality is a misconception. In reality, failure is not the end, but rather a moment in the process of growth and discovery. It offers us invaluable lessons that are essential for building resilience, refining our skills, and ultimately achieving success. One of the most powerful shifts in mindset comes when we begin to view failure not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity for growth. Every time we fail, we are given the chance to learn something about ourselves, our approach, and the world around us. Failure highlights areas for improvement, reveals weaknesses we may not have been aware of, and teaches us how to adapt and evolve. Without failure, there would be no feedback loop, no mechanism to propel us forward and to make the necessary changes to our strategy. It is through failure that we gain wisdom, making our eventual success that much more meaningful. The fear of failure often arises from our expectations and perceptions of what success should look like. Society often teaches us that success is linear, a smooth progression where each step is guaranteed to lead to a positive outcome. This can make any deviation from the expected path feel like a failure. However, the truth is that success is rarely linear. It is filled with setbacks, detours, and unexpected turns. Those who achieve great success are not those who avoid failure, but those who persist through it, who learn from it and grow stronger as a result. If we allow ourselves to view failure as an integral part of this non-linear journey, we can release the pressure of perfection and give ourselves the freedom to explore, take risks, and try again. Failure also teaches us resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and continue pursuing our goals despite difficulties. Resilience is a critical skill for success. It is the mental and emotional strength that enables us to persevere through hard times, to face challenges head-on, and to remain committed to our goals even when the outcome is uncertain. The more we experience failure and learn to bounce back from it, the stronger our resilience becomes. Each failure becomes a stepping stone, making us more adaptable, more persistent, and more confident in our ability to overcome whatever obstacles lie ahead. In this way, failure becomes a teacher, instilling in us the strength to keep going when things get tough. It is also important to recognize that failure does not define us. Many people tie their self-worth to their achievements and outcomes, which makes failure feel like a personal rejection. But our worth is not contingent on our successes or failures. Who we are as individuals is not measured by our ability to succeed every time, but by our character, our perseverance, and our willingness to try again, regardless of the outcome. In fact, failure is often what shapes us into the people we are meant to become. It teaches humility, patience, and empathy, qualities that are invaluable in our personal and professional lives. The key to embracing failure lies in reframing our relationship with it. Instead of seeing it as a sign of incompetence or inadequacy, we must learn to see it as a sign that we are pushing our boundaries, trying new things, and challenging ourselves. Every time we fail, we are moving closer to mastery. Just as an athlete builds muscle by pushing their limits, we build strength by stepping outside of our comfort zones and embracing failure as part of the process. In a world that often glorifies success and perfection, it can be difficult to accept failure as a natural part of life. However, it is through failure that we find our greatest opportunities for growth and transformation. When we allow ourselves to fail and to learn from it, we unlock the potential to achieve even greater success. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of it, a necessary ingredient that makes our eventual triumph that much sweeter. Rather than fearing failure, we should embrace it, understanding that it is an essential part of the journey, one that will ultimately lead us to greater heights than we could have imagined if we had never dared to fail. Resilience is often regarded as one of the most important qualities for overcoming challenges and achieving long-term success. It is not something we are born with, but rather a trait that we develop over time through experience and perseverance. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to continue moving forward even in the face of adversity. It is the mental and emotional strength that allows us to keep going when circumstances seem bleak, or when we face obstacles that threaten to derail our progress. When we talk about resilience, we are referring to more than just the ability to withstand hardship. It involves a deeper, more profound strength, the capacity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger after each setback. Resilience does not mean that we are immune to feelings of disappointment, sadness, or frustration when things don't go as planned. It means that, despite these emotions, we are able to regain our focus, recalibrate our approach, and press forward with renewed determination. This process of bouncing back is not immediate. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to face difficulties head on rather than shy away from them. One of the key components of resilience is the mindset with which we approach challenges. People who are resilient tend to have a growth mindset, meaning that they believe their abilities can be developed through hard work and perseverance. They see failure as a temporary setback, not as a reflection of their abilities or self-worth. Instead of giving up when faced with difficulties, they view challenges as opportunities to learn, improve, and grow. This mindset helps them maintain a sense of hope and optimism, even when things are not going their way, which in turn enables them to keep going. Resilience also involves a sense of purpose and commitment to one's goals. When we are deeply connected to our values and passions, we are more likely to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. A strong sense of purpose gives us a reason to persevere, even when the path ahead seems uncertain or difficult. People who are resilient are often driven by a larger vision or mission, one that transcends the immediate challenges they face. This sense of purpose acts as a guiding light, helping them navigate through tough times and stay focused on their ultimate goal. Furthermore, resilience is about adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and the ability to adjust to changing circumstances is crucial for success. Resilient individuals are flexible and open to new ways of thinking and doing things. When faced with unexpected obstacles, they are not quick to give up or become discouraged. Instead, they assess the situation, adapt their strategies, and continue moving forward. This adaptability allows them to thrive in environments that are constantly changing, making them better equipped to handle challenges in both their personal and professional lives. Another important aspect of resilience is the ability to manage stress and maintain emotional balance. Resilient individuals are able to stay calm and focused even in high-pressure situations. They recognize that stress is a natural part of life, but they do not allow it to overwhelm them. Instead of succumbing to anxiety or panic, they develop healthy coping mechanisms to manage their emotions, such as mindfulness, meditation, or talking to a trusted friend. By managing their stress effectively, they are able to maintain a clear head and make better decisions, even in difficult circumstances. Building resilience takes time, and it requires consistent effort and self-reflection. It is not something that can be developed overnight. However, by embracing challenges, maintaining a positive mindset, and staying committed to our goals, we can gradually strengthen our resilience. Each setback we face provides an opportunity to practice and improve our resilience. The more we experience difficulties and learn how to bounce back from them, the more resilient we become. In essence, resilience is about more than just surviving difficult times. It's about growing through them. It's about embracing adversity as an opportunity for personal development and finding the strength to continue on our journey toward success. Resilient individuals do not avoid challenges, they face them head-on, knowing that each difficulty they overcome brings them one step closer to their ultimate goal. By cultivating resilience, we build the inner strength and determination needed to persevere through life's inevitable ups and downs, and we equip ourselves with the tools necessary to achieve lasting success. Courage is a critical ingredient in overcoming the fear of failure, and it plays a pivotal role in our ability to take action. Fear, particularly the fear of failure, often paralyzes us. It keeps us stuck in the realm of indecision, where we are unsure of the next step to take, afraid that making the wrong choice will lead to negative consequences. This fear can prevent us from pursuing opportunities, trying new things, and stepping outside of our comfort zones. However, courage is what allows us to break through this paralysis and move forward despite the fear. It is the willingness to take action even when we are uncertain, the inner strength that propels us to act in spite of our doubts. Taking action, especially in the face of fear, is what transforms potential into reality. Fear often creates a mental barrier that magnifies the risks involved, making them seem larger and more threatening than they actually are. The longer we hesitate, the greater the fear becomes, feeding off our uncertainty. Courage, however, allows us to confront the fear directly and take that first step. It is in the act of moving forward despite the fear that we start to gain control over it. Each step we take reduces the grip fear has on us and builds momentum, making it easier to continue on our path. One of the most important aspects of courage is recognizing that it does not mean the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Courageous individuals are not those who have no fear, they are those who choose to take action, even though fear is present. It is about making the conscious decision to step into the unknown, to embrace the discomfort that comes with uncertainty, and to trust that the act of moving forward will lead to growth. This decision to act is what separates those who succeed from those who remain stagnant. Success is often not about having all the answers or a guaranteed outcome, but about taking action despite the lack of certainty and trusting that the process will lead to results. Taking action also allows us to gain valuable feedback. When we hesitate or avoid action, we remain stuck in a state of inaction where we cannot learn or grow. Every action we take, whether it leads to success or failure, provides us with information that helps us improve and adjust our approach. The more we act, the more we learn about ourselves, the world around us, and how we can better navigate challenges. Even if things don't go as planned, taking action opens the door to learning and refinement. It teaches us resilience, adaptability, and the ability to pivot when necessary. Courage in taking action is also about trusting ourselves and our abilities. Often, fear arises from a lack of confidence, a belief that we are not capable of handling the challenges that come our way. However, the more we practice courage, the more we build self-trust. Each time we take action, even when we feel unsure, we prove to ourselves that we can handle whatever comes our way. This self-trust is essential for moving forward in life, as it allows us to face future challenges with greater confidence. Trusting ourselves to make decisions, to adapt, and to handle whatever outcome arises is a powerful tool for overcoming fear and embracing success. Moreover, courage to take action is not just about big life-altering decisions, it is about consistently making small, courageous steps each day. Every time we decide to push through fear, we build our capacity for taking action in the future. These small actions add up over time, creating a foundation of experience and confidence that we can rely on as we pursue bigger goals. Courage is not a single moment of bravery, but a consistent practice of showing up and taking action, even when the path ahead is unclear. Ultimately, the courage to take action is what allows us to move from a place of inaction and fear into a state of growth and progress. It is the force that propels us forward, enabling us to break free from the constraints that fear creates. By taking action, we begin to diminish the power of fear and replace it with the power of experience, self-trust, and resilience. The more we act, the less we fear, and the closer we get to our goals. Courage is not about having all the answers, but about having the faith to move forward, step by step, and trust that each action will bring us closer to the success we seek. A positive mindset is one of the most powerful tools we can have in overcoming the fear of failure and ultimately embracing success. Our mindset shapes how we perceive the world, how we react to challenges, and how we navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life. When faced with adversity or setbacks, the way we think about those situations plays a significant role in determining our ability to overcome them. A positive mindset allows us to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, and it gives us the resilience to keep going even when things seem difficult. At the core of a positive mindset is the belief that we have the ability to influence our outcomes through our actions, attitudes, and responses. This belief in personal agency empowers us to take control of our circumstances rather than feeling helpless or at the mercy of external factors. When we adopt a positive mindset, we recognize that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This shift in perspective is crucial in overcoming the fear of failure, as it allows us to see setbacks not as final defeats, but as part of the learning process. One of the key aspects of a positive mindset is the ability to reframe situations. When we face challenges or experience failure, it's easy to fall into a pattern of negative thinking, where we focus on what went wrong and what we could have done differently. This kind of thinking can be paralyzing and prevent us from moving forward. However, a positive mindset encourages us to reframe these situations, to view them from a different perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a personal flaw, we can view it as a valuable lesson, an opportunity to grow, to refine our approach, and to become better. This shift in thinking allows us to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than fear or defeat. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is the practice of gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from what is lacking or what has gone wrong. Gratitude helps us maintain a sense of perspective, reminding us of the things we have accomplished and the progress we've made. It helps us stay grounded and focused on the positive aspects of our journey, rather than getting caught up in negative thoughts or feelings. By cultivating gratitude, we can counteract the fear of failure, which often stems from a focus on what could go wrong, and instead focus on the progress we've made and the potential that lies ahead. A positive mindset also involves self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we make mistakes or fail, but this self-criticism only reinforces the fear of failure and keeps us stuck in a cycle of negative thinking. Self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that failure is a natural part of the learning process and does not define us. By being gentle with ourselves, we can build the emotional resilience needed to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward with confidence. Self-compassion fosters a sense of inner peace and acceptance, which is crucial for overcoming the fear of failure and embracing success. In addition, a positive mindset encourages us to stay focused on the present moment rather than worrying about the future. Fear of failure often arises from imagining the worst-case scenario, and this tendency to catastrophize can prevent us from taking action. A positive mindset, however, helps us stay grounded in the present, focusing on what we can do right now to move forward. By staying focused on the present, we reduce anxiety and stress, allowing us to take more measured and deliberate steps toward our goals. Furthermore, a positive mindset fosters optimism. Optimism is the belief that things will improve, that success is possible, and that even in the face of adversity, there is hope for a better future. Optimistic individuals are more likely to take risks, to try new things, and to persist in the face of challenges because they believe that their efforts will eventually pay off. This optimism fuels the courage to take action, even when the path ahead is uncertain, and it provides the emotional energy needed to keep going despite setbacks. Optimism helps us stay motivated and focused on the bigger picture, rather than getting bogged down by temporary difficulties. In summary, a positive mindset is an essential component in overcoming the fear of failure and embracing success. It allows us to view challenges as opportunities, to reframe setbacks as lessons, to cultivate gratitude and self-compassion, and to stay focused on the present moment. By adopting a positive mindset, we can transform the way we approach difficulties and build the resilience, confidence, and courage needed to succeed. It is through this mindset that we can navigate the inevitable obstacles in our path, continue moving forward with hope and optimism, and ultimately achieve the success we desire. Celebrating small wins is an often overlooked but crucial aspect of overcoming fear and achieving long-term success. We tend to focus so much on the bigger goals, the end results, and the distant milestones that we forget the value of acknowledging the smaller victories along the way. These small wins are not just insignificant moments, but powerful indicators of progress that can motivate us, boost our confidence, and keep us moving forward, especially when the larger goal still feels distant or unattainable. When we celebrate small wins, we reinforce positive behavior and habits. Each small victory, whether it's completing a challenging task, making a difficult decision, or taking one more step toward our goal, is a testament to our effort and determination. These victories build momentum, creating a cycle of success where each win pushes us to strive for the next. Without recognizing these small achievements, we risk getting lost in a constant state of dissatisfaction, always chasing the next big thing without acknowledging how far we've come. By celebrating small wins, we pause to reflect on our progress and create a sense of accomplishment, which is vital for maintaining motivation. Moreover, celebrating small wins helps us stay positive and optimistic. The journey toward a significant goal can often be long and full of challenges, which can lead to feelings of frustration or discouragement. When we focus solely on the larger goal, it's easy to become disheartened by how much further we have to go. However, when we take the time to recognize and appreciate the smaller victories, we shift our focus away from the obstacles and instead highlight our progress. This practice of celebrating the little things fosters a sense of gratitude, reminding us that success isn't only about the destination, but also about the journey. It's about the steps we take, no matter how small they seem, that contribute to our ultimate success. Celebrating small wins also plays a significant role in building self-confidence. Success is cumulative, and every small win adds to our sense of capability and self-worth. When we acknowledge these achievements, we begin to internalize the belief that we are capable of reaching our larger goals. Each small victory reinforces our belief in ourselves and our ability to navigate challenges. This growing confidence can become a powerful force, propelling us through more difficult tasks and helping us face future obstacles with greater assurance. In this way, small wins provide a foundation for long-term success, one that is built on a growing sense of competence and achievement. Another benefit of celebrating small wins is that it helps us develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks and keep moving forward, and it is strengthened when we recognize and celebrate the progress we've made, no matter how small. Each small win is a testament to our ability to overcome obstacles and continue striving for success. By celebrating these wins, we remind ourselves that we are capable of bouncing back from difficulties, and that we have the strength to persevere. This practice of celebrating resilience helps us develop a mindset that views setbacks as temporary and manageable, not as insurmountable barriers. It reinforces the idea that we are not defined by our failures but by our ability to keep moving forward, one step at a time. In addition, small wins serve as a form of positive reinforcement. When we celebrate these victories, we condition ourselves to recognize that effort and persistence lead to rewards. This reinforces the idea that success is not just about the end result, but about the consistent effort we put into our work. It helps us appreciate the process rather than becoming overly focused on the outcome. By reinforcing this mindset, we can develop a healthier relationship with success, one that values hard work, dedication, and progress, rather than placing all our self-worth on achieving a single large goal. This perspective shift encourages long-term satisfaction and fulfillment as we begin to see the value in every step of the journey. Celebrating small wins is also a powerful tool for maintaining focus and motivation. It's easy to become distracted or lose momentum when we only focus on the bigger picture. The larger goal can seem overwhelming, and the road to it may appear long and difficult. But by celebrating small wins, we create milestones that break down the journey into more manageable pieces. These smaller, more achievable goals help us stay focused and give us a clear sense of direction. They also provide a tangible reminder that we are making progress, which can help us stay motivated, even when faced with setbacks or challenges. The more we celebrate our small victories, the more we reinforce the belief that progress is happening, even when it may not feel like it. Finally, celebrating small wins allows us to embrace the process of growth and development. Success is not just about the final result, but about how we evolve along the way. Every small win is a reflection of our growth, learning, and improvement. By taking the time to celebrate these moments, we acknowledge that success is not only about the destination, but about the person we become in the process. It's about developing new skills, gaining experience, and learning from our mistakes. These small wins are stepping stones, not just toward our larger goals, but toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our abilities. In conclusion, celebrating small wins is not only an important practice for staying motivated and positive, but it is also essential for building resilience, self-confidence, and a healthy relationship with success. These small victories, when recognized and appreciated, create momentum, reinforce positive behavior, and remind us of the progress we've made. They help us stay focused on the process of growth, rather than solely on the end goal, and foster a mindset that values effort, persistence, and continuous improvement. When we celebrate small wins, we empower ourselves to keep moving forward, step by step, toward the larger success we seek. In conclusion, overcoming the fear of failure and embracing success is not a single, momentous event, but a journey, one filled with challenges, growth, and learning. By recognizing the importance of fear and transforming it from a barrier into a stepping stone, we open ourselves to new opportunities. Shifting our perspective on failure, building resilience, and having the courage to take action despite uncertainty all contribute to our path forward. A positive mindset allows us to reframe setbacks and maintain hope, while celebrating small wins keeps us motivated, focused, and moving toward our ultimate goals. Remember, success is not measured by how many times we fall, but by how many times we rise. Each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our dreams. So embrace the fear, take action with courage, and celebrate every little victory along the way. Believe in yourself and your journey, for success is not just about the destination, but the growth you experience along the path. Good luck in all your endeavors, and thank you for your time and dedication. Keep striving, keep growing, and most importantly, keep moving forward.